But a little news to catch everybody up on as well. You may have heard between now and the last time we spoke with you that the Steelers were going to sign another wide receiver. They have since done that. Ray McLeod, a former sixth-round pick of the Buffalo Bills in 2018, has been signed. News of that transaction was first reported by Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. And interesting signing. Ray McLeod is 5'9" and 190 pounds. He's caught 5 passes in 2 seasons with Buffalo and Carolina, but he has also returned a few kickoffs and a few punts. So, another little guy that can potentially be a kick returner to get McLeod onto the roster. The Steelers released Saeed Blacknell, 6'2", 208 pounds, a first-year pro from Penn State. The last time the Steelers practiced was on Wednesday, and the best news there, Tunch, was that Mike Tomlin talked about the injuries that have been suffered on Tuesday by tight end Dax Raymond, an ankle, and offensive lineman Kevin Dotson, a knee, and both of those were considered to be more short-term in Tomlin's estimation. I know there had been considerable concern about Dotson, but it looks like all things considered, not the worst of scenarios unfolding.
No. When you tweak your knee, you've got a week or a couple of days, and you come back. One of the things, you ice that, you heat it up before you take the field, and the way Dotson was moving, I think it's a short-term injury.
Yeah, he was walking around practice, if not participating. And you just got to look at the new guy there a minute ago, Ray McLeod, formerly of Clemson. But as advertised, Tunch, the offensive line, and there they are getting ready. Sean Surrett doing the Zoom call today, and he had some interesting nuggets, including one that he talked about the time that everybody has missed because of the pandemic. No rookie mini camp, no OTAs. Sean Surrett said that had things been the way we've always had them, Kevin Dotson might have got a look at left guard. I mean, there would have been a chance to see what he could do.
They rotate all the guys in, and you give them all an opportunity. When you have OTAs, you focus on learning the offense, but also you focus on technique. And so, they were punching, they used to punch the shields, and they punched, and trapped when when a defensive lineman gets your hands and start, you come down on the forearms of the defensive lineman. But when I saw Zach Banner was punching really well on day one, and he was out there, and I was saying, I said, Zach, man, you're punching great. And he said, hi, Tunch. And he said, his feet are much better. Because I saw him do the What a Feeling dance. And,
it's not something you can unsee.
Yeah. And he was chopping his feet. And I said, wow, that's great footwork.
Since you went to Zach Banner, there you see him, number 72, talking with his offensive line buddies. As it stands now, and I assume it's going to play out this way, Matt Feiler's at left guard, playing Ramon Foster's position, and it's going to be either Zach Banner or Chukwuma Okorafor at right tackle. Yeah. And Sean Surrett, the offensive line coach, said he's got confidence in both of those guys, and he is in no hurry to decide which one it's going to be to start. The quote from Sean Surrett, the evaluation has to be fast, but I'm not in a hurry. Yeah. Sounds like a little John Wooden-esque there.
Right.
What do you think, based on what your gut feel was in the springtime and what you're seeing so far?
Well, I've seen Zach, but I've seen Chooks play at the left tackle. I'm a fan of Zach Banner. And, he showed me the way he punches. And, and he showed me the intensity because he got back-to-back fights with T.J. Watt.
You can't say fight. They were close disagreements.
Okay, it was a tay-to-tay.
Close disagreements, according to the practice report.
Yeah. Well, when
T.J. Watt disagreed the heck out of him.
Yeah. Well, when we played, we fought, and it was a fight. And then, Chuck broke it up, and he said, okay, apologize to each other and go to the next drill.
The other thing that I was interested to hear from Sean Surratt today, Tunch, the Rams game last year is when Ramon Foster had a concussion.
Right.
So they didn't just go next man up. They actually moved Feiler from right tackle to left guard.
Right.
And then put Chukwuma Okorafor in at right tackle. They kind of made two holes out of one, which you normally don't do. But that was kind of done, as Surratt said, out of necessity because they needed somebody to deal with Aaron Donald, and Matt Feiler's the more anchorish guy, the most anchorish guy, according to David DeCastro, that they have. And they got to look at it, and then they saw, okay, Feiler can play guard.
Right.
Another example that Okorafor can play tackle, and now, here we are.
Yeah, Chooks is very athletic, and he can play right tackle. And Matty Feiler is squat and is strong. And, one of the things he does at guard is he throws his hands out there real quick. And that stops the defensive tackle, the three technique. And, I like him at guard. Guard is the more natural position for Matt Feiler, I think. And right tackle is more natural position for Chooks or Zach Banner.
Yeah, Feiler, of course, he came up as a guard.
Yeah.
And then he kind of got switched to tackle the NFL process, as he described it today. But he had an interesting comment. Somebody asked him when he actually thought all this could happen, because he's from Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
You went to Indiana State.
Right.
That's like going to Alabama compared to Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
But you have a feel for a smaller college guy coming into the NFL. And he said not until his junior year, his O-line coach said, hey, scouts are coming to our games.
Right.
You might want to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And then as a senior, there were more scouts coming. Like, oh, wow, maybe this could happen after all. But I guess the key to such a transition, you're not coming from Georgia or UCLA, but you got here and stayed here a long time.
Yeah, 14 years. I was drafted as a center. But when I came here and I saw Webby, I said, I'm not going to be able to play. So I moved out to right tackle, and when Bubba Brown got hurt, I filled in for him, and when he retired, I was the starting right tackle. But I played left tackle and right tackle for a period of 2 years, and then it was it was all right tackle because Webby was there, and then Dermonti came, so I'm not going to play center at all.
And, another interesting aspect of Matt Feiler's advancement to this juncture, he came in more as a guard type, that anchors, what they call him.
Right.
But Sean Surratt said he leaned up.
Yeah.
He kind of transformed his body to the point where they thought he had enough athletic ability to play tackle.
Right.
And now you got a guy who's plenty athletic to play outside and plenty stout to play inside. He is quite a story, Matt Feiler.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Matt, and you see him right there, and you look at his pipes, and he is big, and he is strong, and you look at his lower half of the body, and he is he's squat, and so he can squat on bull rush, and he's athletic enough to punch on a swim, and he's good.
Yeah, he was asked that. How close-knit the offensive line is. Probably always been that way.
Right.
Those guys are famous for getting together at somebody's house and spending all kind of time together. You can't do that now. So group chats.
Yeah. You could do it to Zoom. One of the things is the offensive line is the closest group by position on the team. We were close. Webby, Colby, Larry Brown, Sam Davis, and Wolf and I were roommates, and we were close, and we had spent. We went fishing together. We went hunting together. We went shooting trap together, and it was a lot of fun.
Probably fishing these days on an iPhone. There's probably some kind of game.
We went fly fishing. Yeah. Webby took us to Rolling Rock.
Another guy who was doing the Zoom thing today was Devin Bush, and that's a name we've heard a lot about ever since last season ended. Specifically, pretty much everybody from the top of the organization on down has looked at Devin Bush and thought about the kind of progress he can make, how much better he can be this year than he was last year. He was not a disappointment by any stretch last year, played a lot of snaps, did a lot of good things, but the Steelers are really, the teammates, the coaches, everybody really anticipating a major jump is going to be taken by Devin Bush this year. Let's give a listen to Devin Bush talking about how that's going to happen, about how this year is way different than last year in a good way.
Last year I came in, I just went in and played and learned as things came to me. But now I have a pretty good idea of what I want to get done. How I can help this team win more, and what can I get better as a player to help this team win. So I'm just challenging myself every day, to try new things and do different things, and put different skill sets inside my game.
Hey, Devin, you made a lot of adjustments week to week and in-game as you were learning last year in your rookie season. What was something when you had time to sit back and look at your whole game during this offseason that you focused on working on to improve before training camp?
Just my movements. I want to be more efficient just with my movements, and not saying my movements were bad, but I seen just playing in the system I played in college and playing to switch into a whole nother system in the league. Things had to change. I had to get more leaner. I had to train differently, and I think I've done a good job of that in the off season, and I think it's going to be better for me this year.
Tunch, you heard Devin Bush just a second ago talking about movement. Not that it was bad last year, but it's got to be better. He didn't get any taller. So if he's going to cover those bigger guys, he's got to beat them to the spot, right? He's got to anticipate and know where they're going almost before they do and get there first, right?
You know what impressed me about Devin last year, he was sideline to sideline. And I told you the day before yesterday that middle linebackers, inside linebackers, they play with their eyes. And, there's all sorts of stuff coming at them, but they've got to sort through the stuff and be reactionary. And that's what Devin was. He's a sideline-to-sideline guy, and I like the way he plays with Vince Williams, because Vince Williams is a thumper. He is the physical guy. And, the way that they play together, I think is very, very good, because they play in unison and they play off each other. And, when you talked about his pass coverage, Jerry Osasky works early in individual with their pass coverage, and Devin Bush and I saw him the other day, and he was cutting the receivers, cutting the running back, cutting the tight end. And I think he's going to be a very good pass receiver, and he's got to get on the tight end. He's got to get on the running back quick.
It's interesting you bring up that relationship with Vince Williams, because 3 times today Devin Bush referenced knowing his teammates better.
Yeah.
And knowing what they do better.
Right.
Now, I've been covering the Steelers since you were playing, since the end of your career.
Yeah.
And you always hear the guy that was a rookie last year, he comes back for his second year, and what's different now, kid? Well, I know the playbook.
Yeah.
You hear that all the time. I rarely, if ever, have heard a guy say, well, I know my teammates better.
Right.
I have more confidence in them, and I know where they're going to be. I know what they're going to do. Not just your own responsibilities, but real big picture stuff that I think Devin Bush is really going to feed off of.
The time in between the end of your rookie season and the beginning of your second season, a light bulb goes on, Mikey. Yeah, you feel like you've got a knack for making plays. Yeah, and Devin said you learn the guy next to you and the guys next to you, and then you feel what their positioning is. One of the things that Chuck used to say, you don't have to be the biggest, strongest, or fastest to make plays. You got to know the defense, and you got to know the offense that your opponent's going to throw at you.
Devin Bush, a popular guy, and that includes social media. We've got some fans reaching out, and let's take a look now. Steelers Nation Unite at FedEx, at DV, Mike, at Tunch Ilkin. Do you think D. Bush 11 will have a much more impactful season than last year? And I think we just answered that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's going to take off like a jet.
Yeah, he's going to, watching him practice, I was very impressed because one of the things he does, he moves quicker. Your rookie year, you fall into this malaise, paralysis by analysis, and because you're looking too intently. But when you become your second-year guy, and Devin is learning a lot from Jerry Osaski because Jerry played with his eyes, and Jerry was a great player by knowing what position everybody was in, and so I think that Devin's going to be that way.
Let's go back and take another social media inquiry now from Steeler Nation. What's your impressions of some of the young guys? Highsmith, UG3, Ola.
Oh, I love Alex Highsmith. He's a great, relentless pass rusher. I saw film of him, and he changes direction well. He gets the edge well, and I think he's gonna. And I love Ola. Ola has a non-rhythmic pass rush. I told you this the other day. He skips steps, and then he grabs the outside arm, and then he rips, and then he's got a great bull rush because he's low to the ground, and he's about 250 pounds. And, he can push the offensive tackle back into the quarterback.
As for UG3, Ulysses Gilbert III, no defensive snaps last year as a rookie, 0.
Yeah.
Played in 7 games, all on special teams. But Tunch, he showed up on the practice report the other day running with the running backs in those one-on-one coverage drills. The linebackers have all the fun and backs on backers.
Yeah.
And then when there's no pass rush and these guys can run around for as long as it takes for them to get open, the defensive guys on the edge. But Ulysses Gilbert held up well the other day. Let's give a listen to his thoughts on running with those playmaking skill set guys.
Yeah, it's kind of drill more towards the running backs, but at the end of the day, it's good to be in uncomfortable situations. Any type of drill like that, just kind of, I look at it more as a positive factor than negative, because at the end of the day, it just helps us to be patient, helps us with our feet, helps us with our hands, and also our vision to what to look at on a running back in a game situation, because sometimes the running back do go out to one or in the slot, so you just never know what you're going to get. So at the end of the day, I just feel like it's a great drill, and it's something that I just continue to work on.
Hey, Ulysses, when you look at this defense and the guys that are all coming back, as a young player, does that give you, freedom to learn without pressure when you know that you have guys in front of you and you can kind of develop on the pace that you feel like you need to?
Yes, for sure. Just knowing there's a lot of group of guys that I was here with last year and here again, it just makes it way more comfortable, because at the end of the day, I didn't get no game opportunities for defense, but in practice, I was able to play with a lot of those guys. So just coming into year 2, knowing a lot of same guys right next to you and in front of you and behind you, it just makes it way easier to just continue with the chemistry and continue to know the guys around you and continue to grow those relationships. And like I said, that we had Benny Williams in the room, and to continue to learn from him, one of the best linebackers I've seen play, as well as one of the best linebackers in the league. Just having a guy like that in the linebacker room as well as a veteran in front of me, and just continue to learn what he does and anything that he tells me, is just a blessing, honestly. And just having guys like T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward, and just watching how those guys work and how they carry themselves like pros, it's just a blessing to have those type of gentlemen in front of me just to learn the ropes.
I'll tell you, that kid can run.
Right.
He can run in
and
space.
He's explosive. One of the things I like when I watch him play, he doesn't hesitate. He blows to the ball carrier, and he's explosive, and he's fast, and he's going to be a good player.
Let's turn it over now to our colleague Craig Wolfley. He's going to talk not about an inside linebacker, but an outside linebacker, and a guy who, you talk about taking off like a jet. T.J. Watt has arrived with fanfare and done nothing except build on it, and the future looks extremely bright. Craig Wolfley, what do you got to say today about T.J. Watt?
You know, there's a lot of years where you find some of the veteran players, they have a slow rollout to the start of camp. And in a COVID year like this, you'd forgive them for it. It's a little awkward, a little bit different. But not T.J. Watt, man. He has been pedal to the metal since day one. You think about it. First off, he starts off with a little punching match with Zach Banner, right? You love the fact that he's a little feisty. He's going after it. He's got the intensity level raised up. And now you see that he's a rock-hard run defender. He'll set that edge. It's hard to hook this cat. He is very, very hard to hook. And the fact is, in this 21st century, he is a 21st century pass rushing guy. You know what I mean? He's got the trap, the split, the wedge, the sweep, the uppercut, the swim. He's got all the hand movements. The things that I love is he's also got that inside stab. He's not one of these guys that just runs into a guy and becomes a helmet magnet. He's got a lot of usage out of quick and explosive hands. By golly, he's like the 21st century Jackie Chan of pass rushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Wolf, and he's also got the inside chop.
The crossover chop.
Crossover
but that's
chop.
the point I'm trying to make. What I love about him, he's got all those elements mixed together, and when you see him come out as early even as we're seeing now, that bodes for good things, my friends.
And you know, Wolf, one of the things that I admire about T.J. Watt is he doesn't get hooked. He doesn't get hooked on the run. He locks out, and he pushes the tight end into the backfield. And when he squeezes down from the backside, he's always making the play. And also when he locks out on the outside, when the tight end is trying to hook him, he just pushes him back in.
He reads the guys like a newspaper,
right.
You know, on the backside like you talk about. And this is what's important, all right? He keeps and maintains his run gap fit. You know, some guys don't. They run out of legs, they run out of balance, they run out of something. But not TJ. He's excellent at the backside. He's excellent at the point of attack. And as a pass rusher, I think we're just seeing the beginning of what can be a legendary career coming up.
And Wolf, he's got the complete package. A guy that came in as a rookie, first-round pick, highly touted, said very little. Wanted to get out there and do it. And now as he has done more every year, he has acknowledged he's becoming more vocal. He's becoming more of a leader. When this guy wants to become more of a leader, how can the rest not follow?
Oh, I think you're right on, Mike. That's the deal with this young man. He leads from the front, but he leads not just by talking the talk. He walks the walk to back up the talk. When you get a leader, a Cam Hayward, a T.J. Watt up front there who can not only talk the talk but back it up with big-time walking, man, you got something special.
You know, Wolf, and he's really quick off the ball. You know, he's got a great first step.
Yep.
And then, you know, he doesn't, he shorts the curve. You know, he shorts the
arc.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he's not a wide arc guy. And then, you know, he sets up the offensive tackle, and then he pushes from the inside.
You know what I love, guys? And this is what I think when I see him. You get hit with the Hindu, right? Who does this guy remind you of? Well, you put a long-haired wig on him, and you just might see a little Kevin Green.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know.
That better be a long wig, Wolf.
Yeah, I could use one myself, Mike.
and Clay Matthews Jr.
True.
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 He reminds me of the Clay Jr.
All right.
Wolf, great stuff. Appreciate it. We will see you here on the desk for the wrap-up show later today. And T.J. Watt, of course, his brother Derek is on hand now, having joined the Steelers. And J.J. Watt down in Houston. 3 brothers from the same family.
Yeah, 3
in the
brothers
National
in the NFL.
Football League.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Danny Smith talked about that yesterday. He said the parents should write a book.
Yeah.
And we should all be reading it.
Right. And, you know, when Mike said everyone needs a Watt, and 2 are better than 1.
The Steelers have 2 Watts, and they have 2 really good outside linebackers.
Right. Yeah.
Watt and Bud Dupree. What do they have after that, Tunch?
Yeah, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alec Highsmith is a contributor, and I wouldn't be surprised that Ola Adeniyi won't be a contributor because those guys are good pass rushers.
Let's go back to social media now and see what's on the minds of Steeler Nation. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's instead go to an interview that was conducted on Wednesday after practice, and there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. If you were with us Wednesday, you heard about the 2-minute drill. One of the 2-minute drills that the Steelers ran, Ben Roethlisberger leading the offense 57 yards in a minute and change. And the drill ended with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Switzer on a snap that occurred with 3 seconds left on the clock. So a fantastic finish. And Ryan Switzer, a guy who has big expectations and high hopes for himself, he talked about those, and he talked about trying to give the doubters the Heisman.
I'm blessed, man. I don't know. I just I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable with who I am as a person, who I am as a player, what I've done in my career, what I think I'm going to do with my career. The only opinions I concern myself with are my employers, my wife, and my God. So, there's a lot of negativity. But if you live for someone's approval, you'll die for their criticism. So, good or bad, you can't listen to it, man. It comes with the territory, and you just got to push forward. In my mind, there's no limit on what I believe that I can bring to this offense. And, I've pushed myself really hard this offseason because I believe I can help this team win a championship. And, I got to prove 7 right. I got to prove a lot of people right. That's what I've been focused on. I haven't focused on the people that, I'm trying to prove wrong. I'm trying to prove, Coach Tomlin and Mr. Colbert, Mr. Rooney. I'm trying to prove all the people that believe in me right. So 7 being one of them. He trusts me in those situations. I was fortunate enough to be out there with the ones and get those reps, which I never take for granted. So I'm excited to see what this year holds for me individually. I believe that I'm really optimistic for myself, and hopefully it pans out that way.
Tunch, he's 5'8", and he's in the NFL. I imagine he was told that he's too short long before he got to the NFL.
Well, this offseason, he trained like a maniac, and he shredded. He's bulked up. He's shredded. He's probably like 5% body fat. One of the things that I admire about him, he said he was bigger, stronger, and faster. And I saw the speed when he's making plays, and he's going to be I think he's going to be that slot receiver.
We shall see. That's going to do it for today's Training Camp Live presented by FedEx. We are celebrating Fan Friday today, so we'll do that as we exit stage left. I want to remind you that I'll be back with Craig Wolfley for the wrap-up show presented by the UPMC Health Plan. That's going to do it for the pre-practice portion of our programming today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.